light-duty lineup. So let me tell you this little story. It was a week before the holiday break last year, and we got the green light to add HEMI back into our lineup. It was a fast-paced week, tons of moving pieces, developing strategies to make sure that we had a plan that could truly deliver. We had strong support from our leadership that continued throughout the break until we had a plan that we were confident to stand behind. So we knew that 2025 was going to be a great year for Ram. So the HEMI is iconic. It's not just an engine, it means things to people. So everyone who's owned a HEMI has their own story of why it matters to them. So when we removed it from our lineup, our customers were frustrated, the dealers felt the impact, so we heard that loud and clear. We needed to act. So not only did we bring the HEMI back, the HEMI will also come standard with the Sport exhaust. So anytime a customer turns on their truck, they're going to hear and know why Ram brought this back. Do you guys know that there's still 3.6 million HEMIs on Ram light-duty trucks today? And that 40% of customers would switch brands if a V8 was not offered? That tells us one thing. The HEMI is just not wanted, it's expected. So we're here today to give the customers exactly what they're asking for, the freedom of choice. So keeping the freedom and choice in mind, we're going to talk about the other brand new 26 model year products that we brought to you here today. So starting with the light duty Express, starting at just $45K is another example of listening to our customers, having a great looking truck at an affordable price point. So building off that Express, we also have the light duty and heavy duty Black Express, starting at $50K and $54K respectively. A tremendous value for our customers that will have some premium features such as the sport hood, the side steps, and the 20-inch wheels, just to name a few. And we're also bringing you guys the full off-road light duty and heavy duty lineup that Nick had talked about earlier. So starting with the Warlock, which is a name you guys have heard before on our light duty trucks. It actually roots all the way back to the 1970s, and we revived it in 2019. And due to that success, the Warlock is its own trim for light duty trucks. So later this year, you'll be able to get the Warlock with the 3.6-liter engine starting at $51K. But we're not stopping there. For the first time ever, Warlock is joining the heavy-duty lineup for 26 model year. It has the same rugged capability and bold styling as our light-duty truck. Starting at just $58K, it will still drive the off-road performance without the premium price tag. So along with the Warlock, you're going to have Rebels, you'll have RHOs, and Power Wagons. So I hope you guys enjoy exploring all the products that we have here today. So now I'm going to hand it off to Marty Jagoda, who is responsible for the team who brought the HEMI back to market in record time.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, team. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Beautiful day. I'm an engineer. I've got a couple of notes that I may glance at here and there. You know, I'm not a perfect public speaker like our brand colleagues are, but again, my name is Marty Jagoda. I'm the vice president of what they call special projects. It's a cryptic name, but there's a reason for that, and I'll get into that a little bit. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about putting the HEMI, reintroducing the HEMI into the Ram 1500 from an engineering perspective. But before I go there, you know, how did I land this sweet gig? Well, it goes back to Amy, right? This thing was greenlit in December, and I was smart, lucky, maybe a little combination of the two to receive some text messages and actually respond to them right up to Christmas Eve. We had some meetings back the 1st of January that were supposed to go 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. They went 2.5 hours, and we were shot out of a cannon, and 2 weeks later we were rolling with this thing. A little bit about me: 23 years at the company, spent a large majority of that at SRT, my first 13 years, so I know a thing or two about going fast, both in the car, but also as far as speed to market. Then I spent 5 more years running the HEMI engine platform. Under my watch, we increased capacities, we brought Demons, Trackhawks, TRXs to market, but also this lovely 5.7-liter eTorque under my watch as well. So again, I know a thing or two about going fast. I know HEMI quite well. And then rounding out, I spent the last 5 years dabbling around and really bolstering my resume so I'd have an opportunity to be right here talking to you guys today. It's great. It's been honestly a ride that I couldn't even imagine. So before I hand it over to Dan, I want to talk about 3 just really important, perhaps even common sense things, but things that we need to remind ourselves every day when we want to bring a product like this back, something as iconic as the HEMI, to production. The first thing is the right team. People like me, people that know the product, people that know the customer, people that know the process at work, and really, frankly, cherry pick aces in the hole, right, throughout the company. We went and got them. It was a very small team. The second thing, and I am going to quote my page here because this is a term, a philosophy from Tim that I don't want to screw up, and it's called the last tenth. And this is a term, it's a philosophy that is earned, and I think my brand colleagues can vouch to this. It can be taken away too, right? It's really leaving no stones unturned. It's making the extra phone call, setting up the extra meeting, staying up late, getting up early, finding that enabler, that one thing that can make something better, faster, and all with the customer in mind. Because honestly, on this project, that rigor was what was required in order to pull this thing off and really to establish a timeline and a project process and everything that I could stand behind from a leadership team. These 2 elements created something that was called F-15. You guys might have heard about it from some of the earlier press releases. It's a team name. Yeah, it's like a jet, fastest jet still out there in the U.S. fighter fleet. But it was not just a team. It was a culture, okay? And this was the only way it was going to work. This culture started as a top secret, thing of about 10 people. But we're a huge company. We need stakeholders from all across the company. I needed purchasing to bring my parts back. I needed technicians to build the trucks. I needed the manufacturing plant. I needed our beloved Sterling Heights assembly plant to build the truck. I needed people like Dan that you're going to talk to in just a moment here to develop and validate the truck. We needed all these people. So as we started calling them up, bringing the culture, right, it was like there was not much sell job that had to be done. They had kind of heard the rumblings and grumblings. They wanted to be part of this. It was reminiscent of how we did business a handful of years ago when we were, kicking butt and taking names. So they all wanted in. They knew the importance. And again, this was the only way it was going to happen. So with that team and culture in place, it was all about timeline, right? We had 6, 7 months to do this, right? And it was not easy. So this process, the timing, the development, the validation, it was fast, but it was not rushed, okay? There's a distinction there that I want to make sure that we're clear about. This was not rushed. HEMI is not just an engine. It's not just a 5.7-liter we're talking about today. It's the engine. It's a sub-brand, and it's something we take very seriously for ourselves and our customers. We met with senior leadership of the company, including the CEO of the brand, my engineering leadership, multiple times a week. If there's anything I can do better in the last 6 months, it's making arts and charts because I've made a ton of them. But it was really around, ensuring that not only were we on track because we didn't have a minute or a day to give, but also that we were doing it the right way, leaving no stones unturned, and making sure that when this comes back to the dealerships for our customers, that it's perfect because that's what they expect and that's what we owe to them to deliver. So now that I've set up the what we had to do from an engineering perspective a little bit, I'm going to hand it over to Dan to walk you through how we did it.
Thanks, Marty. That's a tough act to follow, but I'm also an engineer, so I got some notes. So I'm Dan Stagner. I'm the Vehicle Synthesis Manager for the DT 1500 trucks, including this special project bringing back the legendary HEMI. Now, I've had the luxury of being on Ram programs for the 26 years of my career, so I've seen the evolution of the Ram throughout this modern era of pickup trucks. And I just really love this truck. It's got the design, the capability, the comfort, performance. It's just spot on for me. So getting the call, having worked in many different capacities, but getting the call to come and work on this specific project was a very exciting opportunity for me. You know, Marty mentioned the short timeline, fast. You know, we've got only a short time to get this thing into production. It was really, to me, to deliver functioning vehicles for the team to develop on. You know, we had to the scope of the program was basically 13 modules of the new architecture that we introduced in 25. We had to make them all speak HEMI. So I had to deliver the first vehicle, which was built based on scrounging and pulling vehicles in and putting together a representative property to get the program started to prove that we could do it. And as we were bringing the next vehicles to upfit to HEMI, as we were bringing those vehicles in, it was the same day that Tim was given the starter program pep talk to the team, embracing, making sure the team embraced how important the program was to us. So again, there's 13 modules that we had to reintegrate. That's update software, configurations, calibrations, to send vehicles to New Zealand, for example, since we didn't have a winter season within the project timeline. We sent the braking and traction development teams to New Zealand to do the snow work. The rest of the program, recalibrating the ANC, the active noise cancellation, the ADAS reintegration of the engine, the hybrid controller for the regenerative braking that the eTorque provides, and the stop-start smoothness and the torque smoothing. The drivetrain team went out immediately and did their off-road work in the Southwest. So all of this to basically bring a very mature platform that launched in 25, the e-architecture, to bring it to speak to the HEMI properly. So we were able to do this very quickly. We had a mule running within the first couple weeks of, or let's say 3 weeks of the program, and then we had the fleet of vehicles out within 2 months. This fast to development process really let us get into finding all of the issues. So Marty mentioned having management reviews. We also had management ride drives. So we got to show them the good news and the things we're still working on every week. So every week we would show where our problems were, and it was so satisfying to see those problems start diminishing as every week passed by. So we were able to, having those, the focus on the program, the sharing the progress, we were able to get the support from the management team to cut these issues down and get a clean truck early. That provided us the ability to have high uptime, so we were able to gain mileage, gain confidence in the vehicles, further pushing the software maturity. And as of today, we've achieved something I think is 5 times our original plan for mileage on production representative vehicles. We've got 500,000 production miles on our production vehicles. And I think you heard a truck run by when Nick was speaking. That's showcasing our sport tuned exhaust, which I think really just exemplifies HEMI. It is the unique sound of HEMI. It's, I can tell you that every management ride and drive from the very first one, management got in, said the most common comment was, "This just feels right." And I think you'll find the same today in the many different events that you'll be driving the truck. I hope you enjoy it. And I want to hand over to Brant for some strategic and marketing details.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey everyone, Brant Combs, Director of North American Sales Operations for Ram. Good to see most of you again. A couple quick details before we get going, just about how our customers are going to be able to take all the incredible work that this team threw together in a few short months and get it in under the hood of their truck. This is the action part. So how we're going to do it. Currently, our truck lineup is standard with the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6. That's in Tradesman and Bighorn. And then for Laramie and Rebel, we have the standard SO Hurricane. And then our limited Longhorn and up, we have the standard high output. So we've kind of segmented our powertrains into the price classes. Yes, in the Tradesman and Bighorn, you can option up to the SO Hurricane. But for the most part, we've kind of segmented the powertrains. We're not going to do that with HEMI, right? So the HEMI is available throughout the price classes, throughout the lineup. So the way they're going to do that is $1,200 option above the SO Hurricane. So on Tradesman and Bighorn, where you have that option to SO Hurricane, you another $1,200 gets you the HEMI. For the Laramie and Rebel, that's the $1,200 option, brings in that powertrain. And then on limited, Longhorn, and premium price class, where HO is standard, it's going to be a no-charge option to switch over to HEMI. So no charge there. Why does a customer want to spend $1,200 to get the HEMI? Well, I think they told you a lot about why, right? 40% of our customers won't even consider a truck coming back from a V8 if it's not an option. But why is that? It's the feeling, right? It's the sound. It's ripping through the gears. It's the noise that the HEMI makes, and it's knowing you have 8 cylinders behind you when you're trying to get work done, and that's what our truck customers care about. And so we're doubling down on that with the GT exhaust. I know that they mentioned that to you as well. When that was available through Mopar previously on the last gen, or the before the MCA, the 24 model year and before, it was a $1,700 Mopar option. So you're getting big value there. For the guys ordering right now, we're also going to offer a 33-gallon fuel tank, which is typically a $445 MSRP option. That's included in that $1,200. So over $2,000 in additional value coming in with that $1,200 package. If you consider the outgoing HEMI, was standalone option at $3,045, I believe, Jake?
Yeah.
$3,045. So coming in here, $1,200 above the SO. We dropped the price of the SO from $25,000 to $26,000, $1,000. So you're actually getting the HEMI for less than we were offering the Hurricane last model year. So really packing a punch from a value standpoint, but also from the actual MSRP option price. So really good value there. Talking about value, we've also got the heavy duty lineup. I know Amy took you through it, but excited about the new price point trucks at in the Tradesman price class for heavy duty. That's the Warlock and the Express trucks you're now familiar with from light duty, but bringing some off-road attitude, bringing some painted bumpers and grills, sharp-looking trucks inside of the Tradesman price class. And on heavy duty, where capability is the most important piece, Tradesman's a big part of the mix. So that lower price class on heavy duty is a big piece. And so now we've got some really sharp-looking, more affordable trucks in heavy duty that look like that. And the HEMI never left that truck, right? 6.4-liter big gas, over 400 horsepower, one of our more torquey HEMIs, and provides some of our payload leading capability with that. And that's standard throughout the heavy-duty lineup.